One will focus on civic education and how we can engage the traditional leaders and chiefs to help give their citizenry the knowledge to move in civic education, how they ask or demand from their government's services, like good education and other services that the government provides. So I think we have an exciting portfolio that we've already engaged in or have plans to engage with.
We're looking at even training of our chiefs, even understanding simple our role with our registers with them. Some of them are trying to control the registers. They will tell you, you have the law, we have the power. As a chief, I control it. So the registrar's office is in the palace. So if you step on the foot of the chief, you cannot go to office because it's within the palace. And we need to train the chiefs to understand they're doing their job. They're professionals. They're civil servants. They're public servants. Training aspect will come in. We need even the chiefs. Sometimes they sell pieces of land without even reading the indenture. All they're looking for is their little percentage. But when you read the indenture, they were probably not even supposed to sell the land. And that doesn't belong to them. May have belonged to a clan or a family, not the chief. It brings conflicts.
Yeah, there's lots of
training and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I understand you were up in Baku recently to help mediate the crisis. I'm just curious what you came away with during that meeting or during that trip. Do you feel optimistic, or what might be the next steps?
Thank you. I'm doing my best. The Baku now is my priority areas, and if I can get peace there, it will lower the pressure and release much needed resources from there. To other areas, or even to themselves now. We have a situation where the banks are closing. Yeah. We have a situation where a Presbyterian church with the biggest hospital there wants to close because their staff are under attack. We have a situation where the Ghana Education Service trying to transfer teachers there. Teachers don't want to go, even those who are there want transfers. And I was told that the Ghana Education Service directors doesn't really get concerned if somebody doesn't go to work because it's security, so they can use every excuse not to go. So really there's nothing happening. So it's my priority and the president's priority. But these are kind of things we would come back to.
Do you think the peace councils will be able to help it?
They would. I'm talking to the president of the National House of Chiefs, and I think the peace council, I think they've been there, they've tried it. Yeah. And we need a framework where the peace council plays a role. But I would rather let the chiefs themselves deal with it. Because the fundamental problem is chieftaincy. It's between the Kusausis, who had a structured chieftaincy system, to the Bampusis, who had a structured chieftaincy, as against the Kusausis, who were not really worried about chieftaincy. Now they have woken up and they think that they use a land. So it's the chiefs that can handle that. Peace Council may come in when we get to a certain level of understanding the cooperative attitude. We need to draw guidelines. We need to have what are the key elements that we are negotiating on? What are your core areas you don't want to compromise on? What are state them? Let's see, and give us reasons for that. And are there documentary evidence to support why you don't want to give up? And then are there any areas you are prepared to compromise? Put that to. So when we get that and we put the two sides on the table, then of course the negotiation and peace council then comes in because we are then driving towards lasting peace. So you're right, we would need them. But I want the chiefs to start themselves.
So will you help facilitate them yourself or your ministry?
The ministry will facilitate it, so we will need some cooperation from you to see how we do the facilitation. You have been with the peace council and also you would know things that we need to know, what don't go here, do this, do this. But we are doing the facilitation.
Okay, that's good to know. Is second priority of yours?
Second priority is Baku is a special case.
Yeah.
And there's even a budget for it separately. Just holding on to the quote of Baku is the other chieftaincy disputes areas where if we are not careful, that may not get to the height of Baku, but it can be destructive. So that's my second. So it's really to reduce the whole disputed areas to a barest minimum. And it's tied in. But the second priority is the religious side, where we have a draft policy, but it's not been put together and firmed up. we're trying to do that. It's been circulated. We need to remind those who have received it to have an input. We will let you have look at it. And once we have an input, then we will derive from it legislation that will then guide and manage especially the Christian front. The Islamic front seems a bit quiet, although they have some little divisions of the sects, but they're relatively quiet. But the Christian front, although it's quiet, but there are others below the surface who command a lot of congregation, and we don't know what goes in there. So we need to have the policy area where we can have a guidelines of maybe registering them and having a look at what are they teaching them, what are they doing. Because although the Constitution grants them freedom of expression and association and worship and all that, but there's always a responsibility to the right, and there's a limit. If you are making noise in the middle of the night and people are complaining, then what are the laws? Although there are local government regulations, but people are disobeying it. Maybe my ministry have to work with the local government minister and find a way to, hey, after 11 o'clock, stop the noise.
Yeah.
This comes out of the policy area.
So if you deal with bars and restaurants after 11 o'clock, I'm quiet because my neighbors will be yelling. I'm sorry, I'm going to jump back to the first priority. I know the Asante has been key in some other disputes in terms of helping to get to where they need to be in terms of mitigating the conflict. Are there any plans to bring him into the picture?
There was a discussion at Cabinet just this Wednesday where one minister suggested it and the president indicated I should think about it. So yes, he may well be. But I will leave that to the president of the House of Chiefs. He knows, he's the president of the National House of Chiefs. He's traveled to the US back in a month, so he asked me to wait till he's back. So this month is for me to put together our agendas, what we're looking at, what's the draft agenda towards peace, and what are the timelines. Once I do that, he then has to come and suggest prominent chiefs. So he may be one of them. I mean, he's very revered, highly revered there.
I've heard.
And even, because very interestingly enough, the Dagon king can depart. He had at least experienced peace in his land. And they are brothers too.
Oh, is that
they are brothers to the Nairi.
Interesting.
Three key traditional areas, the Bimbela, the Dagon, and then the Mampuru. They are the Mole, the Mani group. So there are three brothers. One is senior, the Nairi is always senior. He's the senior. So there are ways that we can bring some of them, if they are brothers and one brother is doing things, they think, okay, well, let's step in and help him out. That's a family matter. They should be able to help. So we will do the composition and hopefully you will get to know.
Okay.
That will help the Peace Council also have an idea who are these people. They can do the background work and facilitate their thinking processes.
I know it's a complex issue. It's been going on for some time. And it seems like you're under pressure, perhaps because you're very small time window. So
it's a long-standing problem. It's been there for centuries, basically. But if you go down the line, I was a local government minister in President Kufuor's time. So I understand some of the basic issues they're fighting over. So that gives me an advantage. And luckily, because of that, I built good relationship with both sides. And even in the midst of the chaos, I stepped foot in both sides and calmed them down. Unfortunately, something just came up last weekend. There was another gunshots in Boko, but we upped the security operation there. Now there's a curfew, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. That has calmed. It's quiet in everybody now, but they are worried it's killing commercial activity, so they are begging us to ease it out. I said to my regional colleague that if they want us to ease it out, they should also take responsibility to quieten the guns.
Yeah. No, been hearing there's been a lot of influx of arms, which is quite concerning in the north. And, in Upper East, but also kind of going into Upper West, and that's something that we can
fighting the guns, and then we can ease up a bit. So we do some negotiation. But you're right. It's the pressure is on me within a short time to get the lasting peace at least underway. I'm hoping by the end of the year they will sit at the table. Meaning both sides must be spoken to quietly, separately, and all the evidence and their reasons put together and everything. So when we sit, we know exactly what are the issues. Hopefully by the end of the year. By the first quarter of next year, we must be making progress. That will give me a hope and give me, even if I don't resolve it before I leave, we're on the road. And I hope we can, with the goodwill I'm enjoying so far. The issues are not very daunting. It's sometimes ego. And that's ego, it's pride. You got to respect them. Some of them just want to respect.
Right.
From government.
Right.
And from other parties.
Yeah.
And land, when you die, don't take it away. So yes, you're fighting over land for what?
Right. And then there's the youth that get involved. It also agitates too, because they have
and my concern is the youth who may not appreciate the implication, but they are used to killings or they're used to, so it doesn't matter to them. They just pick up a gun and shoot you, and they think they solve the problem, but it escalates the problem.
Yeah. And then with social media and
social media.
Yeah, and
there's one guy there from now who just writes any rubbish. We're trying to track him down through Facebook, and nobody can. Even Facebook cannot allocate him for us. So I don't know. Maybe from your end, from America, you can help. You can find out who it is, but he's inflamed in passion. I can sense some of the writings to use. It's very, very scandalous. If we pick him, he should be arrested. But who is this person? We can't even find his location because apparently he moves around. And so that becomes his job or and that's inflaming things. And if we can get him to quiet him down, it'll help all of us. And we need Facebook. We need the Facebook to help us. And national security is working on that one, but if we can get so social media is also a concern for us.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Anything else we want to mention?
It's honorable. Just a quick one about the documentation of succession arrangements in the traditional areas. For a long time, a lot of them are dependent on oral traditions when it comes to succession planning and things like that. So, are you also thinking around how something can be done in that area?
Yeah, it's not even thinking. The Chieftaincy Act directs the ministry to undertake codification of who are royals and who can ascend to a skin or a throne. And so it's there. And I've said it in my encounters with the media and with Parliament that it's something I have to put to my concentration. It's one of our key priority areas for the year ahead of me. Some traditional authorities have done it. Not many though. Just out of about 300 over, only 6 have done it. It's a small number, but the fact that some have done it means it can be done.
Yes.
And when you ask the other tradition why they haven't done this, this takes and it costs money. Both for us with the registrars and also with the chiefs to cooperate. If you are not careful and the registrars are not strengthened enough, as I said, if they have their offices in the palace of a chief, and the chief is one under controversy or there's a disputed thing, and he's not the chief, you are the what do you call it, the applicant. Go to court. I'm here. I've got power. And the registrar comes. It's what I want is the registrar to write. So I can give my side of the royal line and say, oh, this man, this woman, these are the royals with my skin or my stool. You can ignore the other group who are fighting him. So if we get there and we don't cross-check, people are not within their control. If they are not within their control, we can have a balanced, fair codification exercise. Are you following my argument? So one of the things I need to do quickly is to find even office space for my registrars. I mean, so the registers are not under palaces where one side will control them.
Right.
And they are scared because you cannot, if you do something, you cannot go back to your office. So they won't achieve that. So it's on our priority areas, but the logistics and all that I need to work. And I'm working with Ministry of Finance on those things as well. So, except that we need some more support. And if any little thing would help us, I mean, to edge us closer to getting the qualification, it will help us. Like the Yagbon in the Gonja area, it's so simple. There are gates, about 7 gates, right?
Yeah.
7 gates. So is it 9?
5 to the kinship.
So it's a rotation. So when Chief passed away, and before they passed away, everybody knows that he is going here.
Yeah.
So it's so seamless that nobody fights. And we just did the coronation of the new king of Yabon. The Yabon
The next one is already known.
Sorry?
So the next one is already known.
The next one is known. The next one is when they start grooming him. It can't even done somewhere else. The problem in the south, most of the south, in some parties, is sometimes the same family, which is Judah, but then they are split. They are split. That delays the skinnment or the installment. And when there's a delay, then of course you have a regent who's looking after the place for you. If you delay it too much, a regent also assumes some semblance of power, and they are reluctant to go. They're reluctant to go, and they will put all impediments in your way to delay so they can stay longer.
Right.
Before you realize, they would have installed or skinned a lot of sub-chiefs before, if you don't keep an eye. So that even if they go and it goes the other way and it comes back, which to that they will have young people who are going to mature, they are going to put it back.
Right.
It's so complex a situation that that is why we need support. Again, I come back to you on support. We have a research department here, and they are the key people that my eyes and ears, basically. It's an intelligence gathering. They must be able to give me all the information, and so we can move in quickly and prioritize areas that will cause us problems, and I can solve it. So to bring down the disputed areas just to save the nation a lot of money.
Yeah, I was going to say, as an outsider, it's really hard to understand and understand all the dynamics and nuances. I think we were tracking the Baku conflict, and the staff member told me, well, there's a chance that youth from the Sur tribe could come up from Savannah to support and join the fighting, and so it could kind of broaden out to a regional, which is a bit concerning. So yeah, I think we have in the past in 2014 did some research with this ministry, based on harmful traditional practices, and just female genital mutilation.
That's right.
Yeah, so we looked at kind of like the drivers and what was causing it, and kind of developed an action plan to move forward. It's interesting it didn't move forward with the ministry. I'm not sure what happened there. It's a while ago. So I think there was a little bit of engagement on that side. And I understand that there was some of those harmful practices, like the female genital mutilation, is in these kind of more unsettled areas are kind of creeping back up again, and it's really taking a toll on women. And so, that's our organizations.
And in going down that line too, one of the key areas we tend to miss are the queen mothers.
Yes.
The gender balance. We seem to have chiefs, and when we say chiefs, although it's a generic term, the men takes over, and they ignore the women. To some extent that when even I visit them, not me, I hear the ministry goes up and give her the allowance of money, and the chief take it. So I get 2 envelopes. So the communities are happy. If we're able to get the queen mothers to operate, they have a way of solving problems. And for development, they are focused on the youth, and especially the young girls in the community. And as I said to you in my own training about strong women, if you get that queen mother who's strong and understand the agenda of development, there are solutions. So it's another area. So that's training. My research people need, it's sometimes simple training on research, not to do even with chieftaincy, but research calls for generic training of researchers. So even my ministry, any attempt to help to train them, I will to be welcomed, okay? To get the codification done, and also the Queen Mothers must be given priority. They must be brought up to some level of parity.
I know it's a relatively newer institution in the north, particularly in the south, there's Queen Mothers, but just to highlight too, though, we have a strategy, a 5-year strategy that kind of keeps us focused. And so I think the engagement moving forward, we would need to kind of see how we can overlap. This portfolio isn't our largest exactly, so we have to be kind of strategic in our investments. And I would say, any conflict that we want to be in, our support, don't want to be in the front, obviously. We want to support the institutions that are already there to be able to kind of help with whatever needs to be done in terms of mitigating these conflicts. So we're not, I guess to say we want to be outside, given that.
Thank you.
Please subscribe to Morris TVGH.